Alright, so I'm here at Smoky Mountain Vapes in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and today we're going to be reviewing this bad boy, the Atlantis by Aspire. The Atlantis is quite a bit of a game changer. It's a tank, obviously, as you can tell, with a sub-ohm coil head. This sucker sub-ohms down to 0.5. Comes with a Pyrex glass tank, a stainless steel non-adjustable 510 connection, but the 510 threads are buttery smooth. It's fit so far onto pretty much everything I've tried to put it on. Manhattan, IPv2, Hades, and it screws in just nice and beautiful. There's not that grinding feel. This is a used one, so I'm not 100% sure if it came with any kind of, machine oil or anything like that on it. But most of the things that I've seen and I've gotten from Aspire, I tend to find are pretty clean. My favorite thing about this is the adjustable airflow. And it is nice and smooth, very easy to turn, and it clicks into place. And you can probably hear that nice audible click. And you start to turn for the next one, it's a little bit smaller. Into the next one, it's a little bit smaller, and you guys can hear that click. Now we're going to try it wide open. 50 watts. Man, those are some nice clouds. I'm really digging this. I gotta say, this is a 90% VG juice, and the clouds are awesome, as you can tell. I'm not having any dry hits. I'm not having any wicking problems. This is the stock head. It has not been rebuilt, and I mean it's taking every little bit I can give it. You know, it's hitting hard. Like I said, I've got it bumped up to 50 watts on this IPv2, and it is, I mean, it's incredible. It's 5.6 volts, and it's killer. I'm loving it. Let's talk about flavor. It is about the best that you can expect from a tank. Still not RDA status. It's still not a dripper. On a dripper, I kind of grade things differently. You've got that 1 to 10, that 1 to 10 range, and there are some out there that'll come close to that 10 where it's that perfect vapor, but that's not what I'm getting. But currently, I've got people coming into the store. As far as the flavor on the tank goes, I'm not going to put it up there with an RDA, but I will say it's very good. On a tank standard, I'm going to give it a 9, 9.5. But when you put that with RDAs, it's going to be about an 8 to 8.5. Again, flavor, top notch. So like I said, flavor production on a scale of 1 to 10 is like about, for a tank, is about an 8.5. Vapor production is just absolutely exquisite. You know, something you would not expect out of a tank. I think Aspire is definitely has a game changer here. I wouldn't call it an end all for RDAs. That's by far a complete misleading of what this thing is capable of doing. Honestly, I don't think it's something that people that drip constantly are going to be like, hey, I need to get me an Atlantis because I'm tired of dripping, blah, 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 blah. It's not what that is. That's a complete misinterpretation of the idea. I think this is more for people who use tanks that are tired of these wimpy baby-ass clouds, and they want to blow something a little bit better. Just keep in mind with a sub-ohm of like 0.5 or 0.6, damn, those talkers are killing me, guys. You can't put this on a fucking EVOD battery or a V2 spinner or something like that. You're going to need something a little bit better than that. A mechanical mod is great, and I'll even do a comparison with a mechanical mod and a regulated device such as this IPv2. You can't get that out of a Pro Tank. You can't get that out of an AeroTank Mega. All right, so now let's do some comparing here. We've got a unregulated, obviously, 18650 mechanical tube mod, and our IPv2 at 50 watts. And you've seen the clouds I've been blowing with the IPv2, But this is my first hit on the mechanical mod, so we're going to see what we can get. That's pretty good. It's good, good flavor. Great, clouds. Great vapor production. I'm not going to call it as good as the IPv2, obviously, because I can bump that thing up to 50 watts, and it seems like it's more consecutive. With I can definitely feel the voltage drop here, but I'm getting a lot better flavor. But it's kind of choppy. If you guys have any idea what I'm talking about, if that makes any sense to you at all, it feels almost choppy. It feels like it's not quite what I expected. I felt like I got a lot more out of the regulated device. To reiterate on that, that hit was a lot different. That hit on the Manhattan was a lot different than the hit on than the previous one I just took. And I gotta say, there's not really a whole lot of consistency here. I'm not sure if it's something to do with the coil head, or maybe just my Manhattan's fucked up. I don't know. I'm gonna switch it over to the Hades and we'll try that. We'll see how this goes. Of course, it's going to fuck up on me on camera and make it to where I can't unlock the goddamn room. I'm going to hand this over to the owner and let her take care of it. Hand off the pickle jar. Oh, she does it like it's nothing.
It's cross-threaded. You have to do it backwards.
See, I'm a dumbass. All right. It's about the same. Seems pretty consistent. Maybe it's just my mod. Nope. I think it's just the fact that it's a mechanical mod. It's not regulated. I don't know what the deal is exactly with that, but it just seems like it's more choppy. The cloud production is great. The flavor is better than it was on the regulated device. But I just think that since we're not pushing as many watts and we're not pushing as many volts, it's kind of a little bit more of an issue here. I'd say it's definitely a better vape quality on a regulated device. So let's switch back over to the IPV here, and we'll talk about it. All right, as you can tell, I'm at 50 watts, and we're at 5.4 volts at 0.6. That is a much warmer vape. It's very, very tasty. I think my battery on this thing is dying, actually. I've been vaping on this thing for quite a while. We're going to bring it down to 30 watts. All right, we're at roughly 30 watts, 30.9. Let's take it all the way. 30 watts. 4.2 volts. Again, great clouds. I feel like I'm getting better clouds than I got with the mechanical tube mods. Flavor is definitely better than it was at 50 watts, but still not quite as good as it was on the tube mods. So I'd say it's a 50-50. It's take it how you want it. If you want really intense flavor and you don't care too much about how big the clouds are, then put it on your mechanical mod. But with that being said, you wouldn't really be buying an Atlantis if you didn't care about the clouds, right? So it's kind of going to be subjective. It's going to be what you like and what you're really into. So here in a second, we're going to go ahead and take this thing up close, and we're going to tear it apart and show you the guts. All right, so here we have everything up close. You've got the bottom, the base of your tank with the 510 connection, your airflow ring, and this nice rubber gasket that is meant for your glass Pyrex tank. It sits nice and flush, just like so. We've also got our coil head, which is pretty massive. This is the biggest coil head I've ever seen. That's what she said. for any kind of tank that you can buy on the market, this thing is absolutely massive. You can see in here all these different air holes, these wicking holes, which obviously allow the juice to come and make contact with the coil and give you that nice hit that you're looking for. Inside here you see a nice mesh screen that is covering that just underneath, and you can kind of see there is the beginning of your coil, which wraps around. It's almost, I'd say, like a BVC coil. It wraps around inside with the cotton on the outside. Here is the top part of your tank, and in here is where you slide your glass, and it slides in there just like so, and then obviously your drip tip. So let's put this thing back together. Alright, so to insert the coil head, you start with the base and the coil head, and you take this side and slide it right in there, and you screw it all together until it stops. Alright, set that down, and then grab your tank and the top of your tank. You grab your glass and the top of your tank, and you just kind of push that together. It's held by friction. And then insert and go. Alright, now we're completely tight, it's not moving anymore, but you see how the wicking holes are not exposed. So you want to back that off just a little bit until those wick holes are exposed. There you go, it's all put together, everything's good. So this baby to wide open. When you want to insert juice, you take the tank back off the same way. You want to hold it by this ring here and twist from the actual glass or from the base of the top of the tank. And then to insert your juice, you just put your drip tip anywhere in here. Obviously you don't want to go directly down the barrel. If you know anything about tanks, you know that that's going to end up in your mouth. You don't like that. So in conclusion, yeah, it's a great tank. What's the price range on this thing?
$49.99.
$49.99 over here at Smoky Mountain Vapes. I'd say, in my personal opinion, if I had not been given this, not given, this was not a gift, they're letting me use theirs, but if it hadn't been for them saying, yeah, you can come in, you can review this Atlantis, if I had to purchase it, if I was going to purchase this for my wife, Melissa, then absolutely yes, I would. I don't do tanks personally, but this is definitely something that's made me consider the fact. If I'm driving a long distance and I don't feel like dripping, while driving, because that's dangerous, don't drip and drive. Yeah, I would purchase this, absolutely, especially for that price. Anything, when it comes to a good, nice tank, an RTA or an RBA, I think if it produces well and you get good flavor out of it, anything, below $80 is, for me, a good value. And so with this thing retailing around $50, absolutely something I would invest my money in. The only thing is, you got to remember, it doesn't come with this badass little frog tip. This belongs to Abby. This is her tank, and she's letting me use it. But other than that, yeah, absolutely great. $50, well worth the money in my opinion. I think this frog tip is pretty badass, but every time I try to use it, I hit my teeth. I'm going to chip another tooth. We'll see you guys next time. I'm blowing clouds with a tank. The world has ended.